You are what you eat. When people say that, they mean that eating a healthy diet can improve your health. However, the inverse is also true. Indeed, if you're between the ages of 10 and 19, eating too much junk food can be harmful to both your body and your brain. Junk foods are any foods that have little or no nutritional value. These foods are high in calories, sugar, salt, and fat. All fast foods and soft drinks are considered junk foods. According to studies, eating more junk food results in a lower intake of essential nutrients and vitamins in the body. These junk foods have a variety of negative health effects on teenagers. Here are top 10 effects of junk food on teenagers, so let's start. Kills your appetite. Excessive consumption of processed and fried foods can send mixed signals to the brain, making it difficult to process how hungry and satisfied you are. Junk food deprives your body of essential nutrients and kills your appetite by keeping your stomach full for an extended period of time. This reduces your consumption of nutritious foods. Leads to digestive disorders. We are well aware of the negative effects of junk food on the digestive system. The digestive system works well to burn a sufficient amount of carbohydrates, to keep your blood sugar in check, and to keep your body healthy. The digestive system, on the other hand, will go haywire if you continue to eat too much junk food, because all types of junk food contain excessive amounts of carbohydrates, which will undoubtedly harm your blood sugar levels. A poor diet can lead to constipation, diverticular disease, and gallstones. Each of these conditions is characterized as resulting from diets high in fat and cholesterol and lacking in dietary fiber. Continuously having fast food often leads to stomach ulcers. Peptic ulcer disease, or peptic ulcer, is probably the most common form of ulcer that damages the gastrointestinal tract severely. Leads to obesity. One of the most significant effects of junk food is an increase in weight, which frequently leads to obesity. This is due to the sugar and fat content. Most fast foods are also high in carbohydrates. The combination of all three could lead to weight gain and obesity. Over the past 3 decades, the incidence of childhood obesity has almost tripled and is now a major public health problem globally. Obesity has its own set of problems, including diabetes and an increased risk of heart disease. Several studies have shown that eating junk food and fast food on a regular basis leads to weight gain and obesity. Obese children are twice as likely to develop diabetes when compared with the children who are of normal weight. Also, it is a documented fact that childhood obesity increases the risk of adult obesity, as it can carry some heavy health risks along with it, such as heart disease, high blood pressure, and depression that often last well into adulthood. Can cause respiratory problems. Another difficult issue associated with fast food is respiratory problems. Fast food is linked to breathing problems because it contributes to obesity. A recent study found that children who eat fast food 3 to 4 times per week are more likely to develop asthma than any other child. Further, Australian researchers found that, in non-obese asthmatics, a single fast food meal high in saturated fat increased airway inflammation and the potential for an asthma attack. Leads to depression. Junk foods contain high levels of sugar and fat, which alter brain function by changing chemical activity. In this case, the mind becomes dependent on these foods and craves more. The body loses essential nutrients and amino acids as a result of the excessive consumption of these foods. When you stop eating junk food, you will experience withdrawal symptoms that involve the inability to deal with stress, and hence it makes you depressed. These may lead to a return to junk foods for comfort and stress relief. The researchers found that food that contains a large amount of fat or sugar, or were processed for too long, can cause inflammation in the body, otherwise known as systemic inflammation. Recent research shows that inflammation leads to an increased risk of depression. According to the study, people who regularly consume fast food and sweets are 51% more likely to develop depression than those who do not. The researchers saw that as depression levels increased, so did the amount of junk food eaten. Teeth problems. The fast foods and carbonated drinks you are taking contain acidic compounds like acrylamide, amino acids, phosphoric acids. Excess intake of such acids will cause indigestion, heartburn, nausea, etc. The starch contents in junk foods made them tasty and more sticky. The leftover stuck over the teeth surfaces and lodged between the teeth gaps stay there until you clean your teeth. Dentists recommend brushing and flossing your teeth after eating junk foods to reduce the negative impact. If not, they feed oral bacteria, which causes plaque buildup on the teeth surface. It causes bad breath, gum disease, and other problems. The high sugar content of carbonated beverages, such as soda, acts as a catalyst for oral infection. The sugary compounds feed up the microbes to produce acids that not only damage the enamel, but also cause cavities. On the other hand, sweetened substances increase the risk of developing diabetes. People who do not maintain their blood glucose in control are highly prone to gum or periodontal disease, which will lead to jawbone infection and teeth loss if left untreated. Reduction in comprehension speed. Whereas today's age is all about being the first and fastest, all of this is only possible if the brain has received the proper nutrition to develop. Junk food only temporarily fills the stomach and does little to help develop alertness. As a result, children generally lack concentration when engaged in tasks, fail to remember things for long periods of time, and are generally poor learners. Leads to heart diseases. One of the most serious issues with junk food is the heart problems that you will almost certainly experience in the long run. As we all know, junk foods are processed foods and are composed of fatty substances and are especially rich in bad cholesterol. This bad cholesterol gets deposited on the arteries, reducing the lumen of the arteries. The reduced lumen increases blood pressure. Eating junk food 3 to 4 times per week will raise your cholesterol levels, causing diabetes as well as other issues such as obesity, which puts a strain on your heart. People who eat junk food are more likely to have a heart attack. Behavioral issues. The negative effects of junk food on children are far too severe. It has also been discovered that junk food causes behavioral problems in children due to poor eating habits. Junk food is nutritionally deficient, and when fed to young children, it can have an impact on their central nervous system. They can become dull, lethargic, and even aggressive if they do not get enough vitamins and minerals. Diabetes. Type 2 diabetes is now very common among children, and health professionals blame the rising junk food culture for this. If children continue to consume high-calorie fast foods, they will develop chronic diseases such as diabetes. Sugary foods such as ice cream, candies, and colas can cause a surge of glucose into the body. This can result in increased blood sugar levels and decreased insulin production. Eating salty foods is also known to cause sugar cravings. As a result, salted chips indirectly contribute to diabetes. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, if this fast food trend continues, 1 in every 3 adults in America will have type 2 diabetes by 2050. Diabetes causes disability and can even lead to death. Doctors recommend proper eating habits and the consumption of nutrient-rich foods to reduce the effects of junk foods on teenagers. These will protect them from diseases and help them save money that would otherwise be spent on junk food and medical services. So that's it for today. Before you go, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for our channel, so you never miss what we post next.